Hi there. My name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text and we tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree. This is for the narrative lectionary. It's the 17th Sunday after Pentecost. Let me double check that while I've got here. It is the 17th Sunday after Pentecost, and we're looking at Exodus, Exodus chapter 2, verses Exodus chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, a whole big story about Moses. We're looking at the calling of Moses and the Here I Am. And so the item I'm using, I found at the Dollar Tree. I found this Avengers. It's actually a water game, but it looks like a phone. I like the fact that it's a phone, and I like the fact that it's superheroes, Avengers. You can either use your own phone, and if you want to use your own phone, maybe put on the wallpaper of your own phone a superhero, and or you can grab either a superhero item like a figurine. They've got them all over the Dollar Tree if they don't have this, or something like that. But the idea is being called, and then I like to have the superhero because the thing that makes a good superhero, at least in Marvel Comics, is that every superhero has kind of their, Achilles heel, that's not the right word, not the right really focus, but they have their struggle. They have what they struggle with. When you think about the Hulk, you think about, you think that it's this idea that he's all-powerful, but to try to control that is the struggle that he has. You've got, Superman's got his kryptonite or lead. I mean, you've got these things that work against them. We could call it, we could call them a weakness. We could call it a growth area. Anyway, but those struggles that we have. And so I'm thinking in this that in the story, in the Moses story, Moses is called. Here I am. He gets this call. Here I am. And then later in this, Moses uses that whole thing. Well, you can't call me because I'm not eloquent with my speech. And we hear this throughout Scripture. Jeremiah says, "You can't call me. I'm just a boy." All these different things where someone's called, and they go, "But you've got to be mistaken, God, because do you know who you're calling?" Peter Ide has the song "Just As I Am," as is. Sorry, not "Just As I Am," the hymn, but Peter Ide has the song "As Is," and I love the hymn the song because it's got this listing of everything, all these people that God called, and it points out how they were flawed, and yet God still uses them, and God still calls them, and God still through them changes the world. So that's the direction I'm going at, is that here, these kids that are gathered here, they all know the ways that they mess up, but the fact is that I think they need to hear that they are one that God will use. And I think it's important to say that will use rather than can use. God can use you. No, God will use you. God has been using you. God has been working through you. And that is the gospel. The gospel is that even though we are flawed, even though we are messed up, even though we stumble, and God still loves us, and God still works through us. And that's the promise, and that is grace. So this is the item I'm using, but you can easily use your own phone with a picture of a superhero. So I hope you can use it. I hope it's a springboard for your own thinking. And as always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic week.